I'm here at Divertimenti Marylebone High Street for the Divertimenti Culinary Salon Women in Food, and it's my pleasure to welcome Stefani Smith from River Cottage. And you are chef tutor, so tell me a little bit about your job at River Cottage and what you do.
Okay, hello. My job at River Cottage is really diverse. It's quite hard to hone it in on anything quite specific. I'm a tutor, obviously, as you've said, so I do teaching 100% of the time. I work with the apprenticeship scheme, so we have 120 students aged between 16 to 18 that want to be chefs, but they've got the passion to want to learn about procurement, growing their own, the whole River Cottage ethos, and I have them for a year, so I take them through the programme. Teach them how to be a chef and how to grow their own vegetables and everything under the sustainability hone. So that's one side of my job. The other side of my job is consultancy work. So I do a lot of consultancy work for big kind of hotel groups, trying to make their menus more sustainable and look at their procurement within the kitchen and see what suppliers we can change without it impacting too much on their customer.
Well, I mean, it must be amazing, going back to the apprenticeship thing, to have students for a year.
Yeah.
There must be quite a transformation that you see from day one to when they leave.
Absolutely, yeah. I've just got a group of 20 just about to graduate at the moment, which is really exciting. It's a really exciting time. And you see them transform, you see them loving being in the industry. The ones that, as you know, like the industry is incredibly tough to work in. The ones that don't want to be there drop out within the first couple of weeks because they're in the industry because it's apprenticeship, and that they realise how hard it is, and they're like, nope, it's not for me. So. And
do you have a pretty good idea when you look at somebody if they're going to have, because it takes
tough, yeah,
inner strength but also physical strength and a whole combination to do it and to do it well.
Yeah, you can generally tell after a couple of weeks if they're going to survive or not. Mind you, I've got students that are 6 months in at the moment that are like, I just don't know if I want to do this. And they're halfway through the course, but we always push them to just keep going, just do your year and then decide if it's what you want to do. Because the chefing world, you can train as a chef, but there's so many different routes you can go down.
And you know that personally because you worked in several Michelin star restaurants, so you can really give them the real life experience.
Yeah, I mean, my food experience has been extensive. I started off doing very classical training and then just forged my path through sustainability more than anything, looking at the way that kitchens work, seeing as a chef, having first-hand experience of how terrible the things they do. It just lent me towards kind of ethical eating more than anything else, and having a solid understanding about food and ingredients.
And it's fantastic to think of those people learning that ethos and then spreading it out to all corners of the world.
Yeah, there's no college, we don't really like to call ourselves college, but there's no training provider like us in England. No one does such specific kind of procurement, organic, if you want to call it organic, it's very loose term. Training for such young people, 16 to 18-year-olds is very young to actually have. I didn't have that understanding at that age. No. So drilling it into them at this age, and we don't just drill it into them, we try and work with the business partners to change their menus and just have a little bit more River Cottage in them, that kind of slow ethos, so kind of seasonal, local, organic and wild. That ethos, yeah.
That's great. Well, lovely to speak with you, and thank you for joining us for the Culinary Salon.
Yeah,
Thank you, Stefani.
I'm excited.